Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby, Koay, joined by Achara, KIRK.
Hi, guys.
We're going to look at the official teaser trailer for Shazam. So let's check this out.
You've run from foster homes in 6 counties.
I can take care of myself.
When you're 18, give these people a chance, because that's what they're giving you.
This is Billy Batson. Make sure you make him feel at home.
They seem nice, but don't buy it. It gets real Game of Thrones around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like, why so dark? You're a disabled foster kid. You've got it all. If you could have one superpower, what would you pick? Everybody chooses flight. You know why?
So they can fly away from this conversation?
No, because heroes fly.
Wait, you need your fake family to stand up for you? Hey! Man, sorry about that. Go! Grab it! Get out the way!
Billy Batson. I choose you as champion.
Hello?
Say my name so my powers may flow through you.
But I don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Wait, for real? Say it, okay! Shazam?
This means Billy!
What is happening?
You're the only person I know that knows anything about this Cape Crusader stuff.
Can I...
Oh, yeah. That's crazy, right?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
AM to the PM, PM to the AM.
Can you fly?
If I quit your PM, I still rap with Sachin.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my God.
Okay? Why are you talking?
Be on
I don't think that's gonna buff out.
Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged.
Yeah.
The hell?
You're like a bad guy, right?
Is that Mark Strong?
Gentlemen!
You have bullet immunity!
I'm bulletproof. You're dead. Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
Oh, wow. That just looks like pure fun silliness. I love it.
I like that we're getting back into the fun comedy scene as opposed to everything being sort of dark and dreary. Like, I'm really enjoying this. I'm gonna ride this wave as long as we can.
Love it. And it's very surprising coming from DC.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that this is kind of like
Continue.
a turn in the tide, you
Yeah.
know, like a new trend for them, because I really enjoy that.
Yeah. At some point, there's gonna be a rubber band effect, and it's gonna get serious again. But I'm gonna enjoy this like lighthearted comedy style of comic book films, campiness, as long as it's here. You
Does
know?
it kind of remind you of the name has escaped me, but it was the one written by the internet guy with the hair, where they have superpowers. The kids.
Internet guy with the hair.
You've met him. He's the son of a writer, Max Landis. His movie.
Chronicle?
Yes.
This is nothing like Chronicle.
No, but like the tone, completely different. But the premise being like in Chronicle, they had some kids have superpowers, right? And they're discovering what they can do and they film it. And then this is one kid who gets superpowers, and then his foster brother films it, and he's discovering his superpowers, but in a really fun, cute, you know, adorable way, as opposed to like darkness.
I would not have connected this to Chronicle whatsoever, but I'm impressed that you made that connection. I think that this is going to be a lot of fun. I like the tone. I like the visual style. It feels like it's not really colored the way Zack Snyder films have been colored, and it lacks the deep contrast and deep saturation and whatnot that you'd find with those other DC films. It looks like just kind of a normal movie. The funniest thing is it actually strikes me as almost a throwback movie. Even the costume design, because it feels more like a 90s film, like the Home Alone era. I feel like this is the kind of movie you'd find from that era. So it's really surprising that it's just kind of popping up today. I'm really excited by it. Like, I think that's so cool that they're doing this. It feels very kid-friendly.
Yeah, totally. I mean, as a kid, I would totally love this story because it's, you know, I felt it when I was little, like, all I wanted to do was have superpowers. Like, when I grow up, I just want to be a superhero. It totally fulfills that dream.
Right, it speaks to every kid in us. It speaks to every kid because we were like, just watching this film, like, oh, I would love to. And then you literally see a kid become a super, like, that's really cool. I think that's awesome. And I like the moments that we're going to explore here. I hope they didn't show us all the good stuff. I hope that there's a lot more to discover. Because, like, I love that moment when he's trying to fly and just completely eats it. Like, I really hope that there's just more of that comedy that they play into here. I like the kid that he's playing off of. I like the costume. I think that is a ridiculously cheesy, it's a terrible costume, but it works for the tone of the movie. And the actor playing Shazam, I think is doing a pretty good job of being that person who's like this boy who's just in awe of what's going on and just going along with it, rolling with the punches, you know, enjoying what he has. Scanning through the trailer again, it definitely does remind me of those films from the 90s, like Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like a superhero. Like, I almost expect to find Sinbad in this movie somewhere. This is the kind of film like I could see, you know, parents and kids going to and enjoying equally.
I'm enjoying a lot of the jokes as well. Like, they're very of the times, like especially that Game of Thrones joke. I was like, oh my God, did you just go there? And then it's very self-aware as well, because he's like, oh no, was that too dark?
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nod, nod, you know?
You know, this almost reminds me a little bit of Spider-Man, like Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
In terms of, he has a fat Filipino friend, but instead of a fat Filipino kid, it's a disabled kid. You know, he's got a friend who's got a thing. Like,
got a quirky sidekick who's, you know, not your typical person, like in a movie.
But it's the character that'll kind of ground him and let him know, like, oh, you got to take this way, take this that way. Like, this is what a superhero would do, and he's just kind of discovering it through him along the way.
I'm actually genuinely surprised that this teaser is nearly 3 minutes long. Like, it feels like a full trailer.
This is a trailer.
Yeah,
this is a trailer.
This is a trailer, and I'm so excited for this.
The first minute of the trailer certainly speaks to what I think a lot of us, especially boys, have dealt with growing up, which is, you know, dealing with bullies and trying your best to take on them and stand up to them, but also not get your ass kicked. And to be able to have superpowers to fend them off is like every bullied kid's fantasy, because, you know, you're this little shrimp as a kid and you're dealing with these kids who just, for some reason, got their growth spurt like a year or two sooner than you did, and they're strong.
Is that why you learned Taekwondo?
Yeah. Well, what's great about this is there's ambiguity to it. Like, I don't know anything about Shazam, but there's ambiguity to it much in the same way that Jack has ambiguity. Like, you don't know what he's capable of. His powers could be, it's just like the sky's the limit with Jack. And so here, I feel like it's potentially some of the same thing. Even though it has to take from the comics, I'm sure that there's a lot of wiggle room, you know, a lot of flexibility here, because I don't think that many people know about Shazam compared to the likes of like Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman. Like, I feel like less people know about Shazam, so you can get away with more with this character, and therefore his superpowers could be limitless.
Speaking of The Incredibles, I found the costume to be quite reminiscent of The Incredibles. Like, even that kind of throwbacky feel.
It reminded me more of, what's his name? One Punch Man.
Yeah.
He's just not bald. He's got a nice head of hair there, but his costume for some reason reminds me of that. It'd be very interesting to see if there's a crossover at some point of bringing this character into the other, you know, with the other DC characters. I'd love to see that kind of mix of tones.